Good morning, children. This is lecture 1 of chapter Mole Concept. In this lecture, we will discuss about relative atomic and molecular mass, mole concept, molar volume, vapor density, and its relation to relative molecular mass. We will start the chapter with very basic definitions related to this chapter. The first is coming relative atomic mass or atomic weight. You all know about the atomic mass or atomic weight. Let us see what is written here. Atoms being very small particle, their absolute masses cannot be determined by weighing. So absolute mass of some elements like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, they have been determined indirectly through the method of physics. These elements, hydrogen, carbon or oxygen, has been determined indirectly through methods of physics. The mass of one of these atoms is used to express the mass of the other element as a ratio with respect to this hydrogen, oxygen or carbon. And hence the term relative atomic mass is coming. The relative atomic mass means it is a relative term. That means it is we are comparing the mass of an element with a known mass of a particular element. Okay, so the definition is here given. The relative atomic mass or atomic weight of an element is the number of times one atom of that particular element is heavier than 1/12th times the mass of an atom of carbon-12. How much it is heavier than 1/12th of the mass of an atom of carbon-12. Am I clear? So, relative atomic mass can be expressed like this. Mass of one atom of element divided by 1/12 the mass of one atom of C12 element. We have taken C12 as a standard. Okay, and comparing the mass of all other elements with respect to C12, one atom of C12. Okay, atomic mass is expressed in atomic mass unit. So 1 AMU is defined as 1/12 the mass of one carbon atom. Now you can see that most atomic masses are not whole numbers. Like chlorine, the mass of chlorine is 35.5. Why it is so? Most natural elements are a mixture of constant composing containing two or more isotopes. Okay, the relative atomic mass of an element is the weighted average of the relative atomic mass of its natural isotopes. And that is why we are getting the fractional number. Like chlorine consists of a mixture of two types of isotopes which are having masses 35 and 37, and we are getting 35 and 37 in the ratio 3:1. That means 3 parts of 35 and 1 part of 37. We are getting chlorine in this form. Two isotopes. So average relative atomic mass of chlorine can be taken out. 35 3 parts plus 37 1 part, and total is 4. So divided by 4 we are getting 35.5. So that is why the fractional atomic mass we are getting. Now, relative molecular mass or molecular weight. The same way, the relative molecular mass or molecular weight of an element or a compound, it's a molecule, not the atom. Please remember that. The molecular mass, the relative molecular mass of an element or a compound is a number that represents how many times one molecule of a substance. For relative atomic mass, it was one atom of the substance. Now for relative molecular mass, it is one molecule of the substance is heavier than 1/12 mass of C carbon atom. Okay. For relative atomic mass, one atom of the substance is compared with one atom of C12. And here, for relative molecular mass, one molecule is compared with one atom of the carbon. Am I clear? So, relative molecular mass may be obtained by adding together the atomic masses or the atomic weights of all the atoms present in the molecule. See here, relative molecular mass of sulfuric acid, hydrogen, the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and 2 hydrogen, so it is 2 into 1. Now, 1 sulfur, the atomic mass of sulfur is 32 and 4 oxygen, 1 oxygen atom is having mass 16, so 4 into 16. So, total what we are getting? 98. So, molecular mass of H2SO4, molecular mass of H2SO4 is 98. Okay, so what we can say, what is the conclusion we can draw? It is the molecular mass of H2SO4 is 98 AMU, or one molecule of H2SO4 is 98 times heavier than the 1/12 of C12 atom. I think I am clear. Gram atomic mass. Very easy. Atomic mass of an element expressed in gram. You are saying that atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. If I'll say gram atomic mass, I'll say 16 gram. Gram atomic mass of oxygen is 16 gram. Atomic mass of oxygen 16 AMU. Okay. Let me see what is written here. Atomic mass of an element expressed in gram is called gram atomic mass. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU. Therefore, its gram atomic mass is 16 gram. Whatever I told you just now. The quantity of an element which weighs equal to its gram atomic mass is called 1 gram atom of that element. The quantity of any element which weighs equal to its gram atomic mass. That means how much oxygen will weigh 16 gram. I'll say this much is the gram atom, 1 gram atom of oxygen. That means 1 gram atom of oxygen weighs 16 gram. Listen to me carefully. 1 gram atom of oxygen, if I'll say, that means its weight is 16 gram. Am I clear? So just see that example. 16 gram of oxygen, I can call it as 1 gram of oxygen, 1 gram atom of oxygen. Okay. If I'll say 1 gram atom of potassium, what is the atomic mass of potassium? you all know 39. So 1 gram atom of potassium means 39 gram. Potassium is 39 gram. Similarly, 1 gram atom of helium is 4 gram of helium. In a similar way, gram molecular mass, the molecular mass of a substance expressed in gram. So if I want to say the molecular mass of water, what is the molecular mass of water? Molecular mass of water is 18 AMU. Okay, now if I want to, because water is a molecule, okay, so molecular mass of water is 18 AMU. If I want to express in gram molecule, then gram molecular mass, then I'll say 18 gram. Am I clear? So the molecular mass of water is 18 AMU and its gram molecular mass is 18 gram. Similarly, gram molecular mass of NH3 is 17 gram. HCl is 36.5 gram, etc. It will be gram, etc. Okay. So these are the gram molecular mass. Molecular mass, whatever you will get. What is the weight of one molecule of a particular substance? What is the weight of one molecule of that particular substance? One molecule of water weighs 18 AMU. But if I am expressing it in gram, that means 18 gram, I'll call it as gram molecular mass. Now, a very interesting thing, mole. This is a totally new concept for this chapter. Mole. What is mole? Mole is an unit. Like we are saying dozen. If I'll say dozen, that means it's 12 numbers. You know that. Mole is also having a particular number. I'm coming to that. Now, 1 dozen, if I'm asking you to bring 1 dozen of banana, you will bring 12 numbers of bananas. Okay. Similarly, mole is used for expressing atoms, molecules, ions, electrons, all these things are expressed in mole. And mole is having a particular number. Like 1 dozen means 12 numbers. Similarly, mole, 1 mole means it is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers. If I'll say 1 mole of molecule, then if I'll say go and bring 1 dozen of banana, you will go and you will bring 12 bananas. If I'll say bring 1 dozen of orange, you will go and you will bring 12 oranges. If I'll say bring 1 dozen of apple, you will go and you will bring 12 apples. Similarly, if I'll say bring 1 mole of molecule, okay, then you will go to the molecule where the molecules are kept. Then you will bring 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of molecules. That means you are bringing 1 mole of molecule. If I'll say go and bring 1 mole of atom, then you will bring 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of atoms. That means you are bringing 1 mole of atom. Similarly, if I am asking you, just give me 1 mole of iron, you will go and you will bring 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of ions. This example I have given just for your understanding. Okay, now What is a mole? The definition of mole is written here. Just see that. The mole, which is written as, the symbol of mole is MOL. Okay, is the unit of measurement for amount of substance in the International System of Unit, that is SI system. A mole of a substance or a mole of particle is defined as exactly 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles, which may be atom, which may be molecules, which may be ions or electrons. Am I clear? Just think and compare this with 1 dozen. Now in chemistry, we are calling this is as mole, which is having a particular number, 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particles. That particles may be molecule, these particles may be atom, these particles may be ion, these particles may be electron. So one particle, for particle 1 mole is this much, 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers, particles. What is written here? When the particle is molecule, as I told you, 1 mole is taken as 6.02 into 10 to the power, it will write here 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of molecules. When the particle is atom, 1 mole is taken as 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of atoms, and this particular number is given a name which is known as Avogadro's number. Now, Avogadro's number is defined as the number of atoms present in 12 gram of C12 isotopes. And how many particles, how many atoms are present in 1 gram of 12 gram of C12 isotopes? That is 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. That means 1 gram atom. 1 gram atom of C12 isotope is containing 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Or Avogadro number is the number of elementary units, that is atoms, ions, molecules present in 1 mole of the substance. That means 1 mole of the substance containing 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 particle. That means that particular number is known as Avogadro number. That is, it is said here that Avogadro number is the number of elementary unit, that is atom, ions or molecules present in 1 mole of substance. Avogadro number is denoted by Na. Mole of atoms. 1 mole of atom contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms having mass equal to its gram atomic mass. So 1 mole of atom containing 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms, which is having a mass equal to its gram atomic mass. That means 1 mole of oxygen, if I'll say 1 mole of oxygen, 1 mole of oxygen atoms means it contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of oxygen atom, and 1 atom of oxygen is weighing 16 gram. So its weight is 16 gram. Am I clear? Similarly, mole of molecules, if I'll say, that means 1 mole of molecules contain 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules and having a mass equal to its gram molecular mass. Okay, gram molecular mass. That means the example is 1 mole of water is a molecule. Now it contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water and whose weight is 18 gram. So 1 molecule of water is having mass 18 gram. So 1 mole of water is also having a mass 18 gram, but it contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. Am I clear? Now mole and molar volume. 1 mole of any gas, this is very important, 1 mole of any gas molecule occupies 22.4 liters or decimeter cube. Liters and decimeter cubes are same, or 22400 milliliter or centimeter cube at STP. Why I am saying all these things? Because all these things will be required while doing the numericals. This is known as molar volume. So what is molar volume is saying 1 mole of any gas molecule occupies 22.4 liters at STP. So molar volume of a gas can be defined as the volume occupied by 1 mole of gas at STP, which is 22.4 liters. So just given in a table, all the things that we have read till now, it's given in a table with the example. Now see, substance is sulfur dioxide. 1 mole of sulfur dioxide contains 64 gram. Its mass, molar mass. That means 1 molecule. Just see that 1 molecule of SO2. What is the mass? Sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16, 2s are 32. So it is 64. That is why it is written 64. 64 gram. Now how much volume it will contain? Volume at STP in liters, it is 22.4 liters. Number of molecules 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. And how many number of atoms? Sulfur 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, because only one sulfur, only one S, and 2 oxygen atom. So oxygen atom is 2 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Similarly for ammonia, it is 1 mole, the mass is 17, ammonia, nitrogen is 14 and hydrogen is 1 into 3, that is 3, so it is 17. So 17 gram is the molar mass. It is also containing 22.4 liters because all the gases at STP, it will occupy 22.4 liters. The number of molecules all together is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and number of atoms, nitrogen only 1, nitrogen having only 1, so 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, but hydrogen having 3 atoms, so 3 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Similarly for calcium chloride, it is 1 mole, its molar mass is 111. If you calculate, you will get the same 111. Now it is not a gas, that is why it is not written 22.4 liters, but it is having 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of molecules, and Ca2 plus ion here, because CaCl2 is a ionic compound, so Ca2 plus and Cl2Cl minus, so it is Ca2 plus 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and chloride ions are 2 chloride ions, so 2 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of ions. Okay. Now vapor density and relative molecular mass. Now the reduced portion has come for your 2021 batch. It is starting, this chapter is starting from here, that is vapor density and relative molecular mass. But I told you the basics of this chapter, otherwise it will be difficult for you to do the numericals and it will be difficult for you to understand the following slides. That is why I have given you the basics. Please go through those also, those basics whatever I have said, and then you start from this vapor density and relative molecular mass. Now what is relative vapor density? Again see the relative term is coming. Again this relative term is coming. That means vapor density of a gas. Naturally, the gas is having a vapor density. Vapor of the gas that is having a density. So that vapor density again is compared with something. It is a relative term. So what is that? The ratio between the masses of equal volume of gas or vapor. That means mass by volume is nothing but the density. So ratio between the masses of equal volume of gas or vapor and hydrogen under the same condition of temperature and pressure. That means now they are comparing the vapor density of a particular gas with the hydrogen, where the volume of both the gases are same. That is hydrogen and the gas whose vapor density we want to calculate. So relative vapor density is equal to mass of volume V of the gas under similar condition divided by mass of volume V. That means I am making both the volumes same. Mass by volume. So it is the density of the gas, and mass by volume, it is the density of the hydrogen. Now I am making the volume same. So mass of the gas under similar condition, that is the numerator, that is divided by mass of volume of hydrogen gas under similar condition. That means the vapor density is now compared with hydrogen, the volume of the mass of the volume, same volume of the hydrogen gas under similar condition. Now, according to Avogadro's law, volume at same temperature and pressure may be substituted by molecules. Hence, we can say that relative density is equal to mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of one molecule of hydrogen. Instead of that, 2 atoms of hydrogen. Okay. Now, molecules of hydrogen contains 2 atoms. So, by multiplying both sides by 2, so it will be 2 into relative density is equal to mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of one atom, because if we multiply here by 2, then this 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Okay, so it will be mass of one atom of hydrogen. So now 2 into relative density is equals to relative molecular mass of gas or vapor, but because this is nothing but the relative molecular mass of one molecule of gas or vapor divided by mass of one atom of hydrogen. Just remember the first slide what we have said, that is compared with the hydrogen or carbon or oxygen atom. So it is compared, the mass of one molecule of the gas or vapor is compared with one atom of hydrogen. So it is nothing but relative molecular mass. So 2 into relative molecular mass is equal to 2 into relative vapor density is equals to, 2 into relative vapor density is equal to relative molecular mass of a gas or vapor. That is why I said basics. The definition of the basics is very important to know. Otherwise, you will not be able to write that this is equals to relative molecular mass. Okay. Now, the relative molecular mass of a gas or vapor is twice its vapor density. Last slide we have seen that 2 into relative density is equals to relative molecular mass. So from there, this line is written. The relative molecular mass of a gas or a vapor is twice its vapor density. Now, for example, if the relative vapor density of gaseous chlorine is 35.5, then its relative molecular mass is 2 into 35.5 is 71. Now, it is found by direct weighing that 1 decimeter cube or 1 liter of hydrogen at STP weighs 0.089 gram. In some of the places you can get it like that, 0.09, round off. Now therefore 1 decimeter cube of any gas whose vapor density at STP is D would weigh D into 0.089 gram at STP. Okay, from where we have got this? We have got this from the first formula. That is, the formula is relative density, just remember that, is equals to mass of volume V of the gas under similar condition divided by mass of volume V of hydrogen gas, H2 gas under similar condition. So this volume is if 1 liter, if this volume is 1 liter, so it is written here, found that 1 decimeter cube, that means 1 liter of hydrogen at STP weighs 0.09. So mass of this mass of any gas whose vapor density is given, suppose D, so it will be multiplied, this 2 will be multiplied, D into 0.089. So from there we got this D into 0.089 gram at STP, or we can say that D into 0.089 gram of any gas occupies 1 decimeter cube or 1 liter. Okay, so from here D gram of any gas will occupy 1 by this thing 0.089, 1 by 0.089, or it is, if you'll do this one, if you'll calculate this one, you will get 11.2 or 11.2 liter, or 2D of any gas will occupy, just multiply 11.2 into 2, that is 22.4 liters, but 2 into relative density is equals to molecular mass. Okay, now from there we can get this one. Thus, gram molecular mass of any gas occupy from here molecular mass. So, gram molecular mass of any gas occupy 22.4 liters at STP, which contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and that is nothing but equal to 1 mole of that gas. Clear? Now, the molar volume of gas is the volume occupied by 1 gram molecular mass or by 1 mole of the gas at STP. It is equals to 22.4 liters or 22400 milliliters or centimeter cube. Actually, these things will come when you will do the numericals, and that is why I am telling this things repeatedly, and unless and until you will note the basics, all these things will be very difficult for you to understand. Am I clear? Now some important formulas are given here. Whatever we have done there, this is just a revision. Please go through this slide. You have to remember all these formulas. It is very important because repeatedly it will come when you will do the numericals for this chapter and for the next chapter also. Next chapter means for next lesson. There are some important concepts for revision. This all we have done. Please once again go through it. It is just a revisions because all these things are important and we have taken this all from your book itself. So you can open the book and you can see it and just revise it. It will give you a clear concept. Now we will solve some numericals, and what the numericals is taken from your book only. Just I'll explain the numericals to you for your understanding. So the first question, calculate the atomicity of chlorine. Atomicity of chlorine, if 35.5 gram of it occupies 11,200 centimeter cube at STP. That means you have to find out the atomicity of chlorine. Now how to find out? It is given that it occupies 11,200 centimeter cube at STP, 35.5 gram of chlorine. Okay, now you all know that 1 mole of any substance is equals to 1 gram molecular mass of it, and it occupies 22.4 liters, that means 22400 centimeter cube. Why I have taken this 22400 centimeter cube? Because this is given in, it is also given in centimeter cube. Okay, now if I am getting that, that means I can write that 1 gram atom of chlorine occupies 11,200 centimeter cube, because 1 gram atom, because it is given 35.5 gram of chlorine occupied It's given chlorine occupies 11,200 centimeter cube at STP. This is also very important, STP. Now 35.5 gram means it is 1 gram atom. 1 gram atom means it contains 35.5 gram. Okay, so 1 gram atom contains this much, 11,200. So how many gram of chlorine will occupy this? This is your 22400 centimeter cube. So how many gram atom of chlorine will occupy this? It will be 222400 into 35.5 divided by 11,200. That means it is just unitary method. You have to do it with unitary method. Okay, so now what you will do? 11,200 centimeter cube occupied by 35.5 gram of chlorine. So 1 centimeter cube will be occupied by 35.5 divided by 11200 gram. Now 22400 centimeter cube occupied by 35.5 divided by 11200 into 22400 gram. So it is coming 71 gram. Now atomicity is the molecular mass by atomic mass. So 71 by 35.5 it is coming 2. So atomicity of chlorine is 2. Is it okay? Calculate the volume occupied by 2.8 gram of N2 at STP. Now gram molecular mass of N2 is 28 gram. So 28 gram of N2 at STP occupies 22.4 liters. This is a known fact. Now 2.8 gram of N2 at STP contains, because question is 2.8 gram of N2, it at STP it occupies how much? 22.4 into 2.8 divided by 28, unitary method, it is 2.24 liters. Calculate the gram molecular mass of N2 if 360 centimeter cube at STP weighs 0.45 gram. Is one question. And second question is the number of gram molecule of water in 4.5 gram of water. The mass of 22.4 liter of gas at STP is equals to its gram molecular mass, that you all know. So 360 centimeter cube, from the question you just see 360 centimeter cube at STP weighs 0.45 gram. It is given. Therefore 22.4 liters. That means if it is given in centimeter cube, we have to change 22.4 liters also in centimeter cube. So it is 22400 centimeter cube of N2 will weigh how much? That will find out from unitary method. So it is coming to 28 gram. Okay, just unitary method. Now the second question is the number of gram molecule of water in 4.5 gram of water. So gram molecule of number of gram molecule is equals to mass in grams of water, that is given 4.5 divided by gram molecular mass of water, of course. So gram molecular mass of water is 18, you know, and this is given 4.5. So 4.5 by 18, so we are getting 0.25 gram molecules. A gas cylinder filled with hydrogen holds 50 gram of the gas. The same cylinder holds 200 gram of gas X and 500 gram of gas Y. 200 gram of gas X and 500 gram of gas Y. Consider the same condition of temperature and pressure in the cylinder. Calculate the relative molecular mass of gas X and Y. So what is given? Once again I am reading. A gas cylinder filled with hydrogen hold 50 gram of the gas. So vapor density of the gas, first you find out that. Mass of a certain volume of a gas at STP divided mass of an equal volume of H2 at STP, that you all know. This is the formula for relative density. The formula for relative density, you know, that is mass of a certain gas, certain volume, mass of a certain volume of a gas at STP divided by mass of hydrogen equal volume of hydrogen at STP. This you all know. Now, so for gas X, two gases are there. So for gas X, the vapor density is equals to 200, because it is given 200 gram of gas X divided by it is given it can hold 50 gram of gas, so it is 50, so it is we are getting 4. So this is your vapor density we are getting, and you have to find out the relative molecular mass. So relative molecular mass is equals to 2 into vapor density, you know. So it will be 2 into 4, which is equals to 8. Similarly, for Y, it will be 500 by 50, so it will be 10. So relative molecular mass of Y is equals to 20. Am I clear? So please go through the numericals carefully and solve all the numericals in your notebook. Now please see these numericals and try to do these numericals on your own. I am not discussing this numerical here. Another one, calculate the vapor density and molecular mass of CO2 if 200 milliliter of the gas at STP weighs 0.40 gram. Now 1 liter of hydrogen at STP weighs 0.09. As I told you, you may get 0.09. You can write here 0.089 also. No problem. Now 200 milliliter of CO2 at STP weighs 0.40 gram. It is given to you in the question paper. So 1 liter of CO2 at STP weighs 0.40 into 1000 by 200. It is 2 gram. Why I am finding it in 1 liter? Because then only I can compare with the hydrogen, because we know that 1 liter of hydrogen weighs 0.089. This is a known weight. You know that the formula of relative vapor density is given by we are comparing with the hydrogen, same volume of the hydrogen. We are comparing the same volume of the gas with the same volume of the hydrogen, and we know for 1 liter of hydrogen, and that is why it is known, that is 0.089. This weight we know, that at STP 1 liter of hydrogen is weighing 0.089. And similarly, for equal volume, if I want to find out, then I have to find out for CO2 also 1 liter. What is the mass for 1 liter of CO2? And then only we can compare, and then only we can get the relative vapor density. So I have taken out what is the weight for 1 liter of CO2. 200 liter of CO2 is given. From there 1 liter of CO2 I can find out by unitary method. In place of 1 liter I have written 1000. Okay. Now after getting 2 gram, so it will be the vapor density. The formula is weight of 1000 ml of CO2 at STP divided by weight of 1000 ml of H2 at STP. The volume will be same. I'm making the volume same. So it is 2 by 0.09. In place of 0.09, you can write 0.089. Or you can write, just round it off, 0.09. In place of 2 by 0.09 in the answer it is written, you can write 2 by 0.089 also. So you are getting 22.22. That is only vapor density. You have to find out the molecular mass. You know that molecular mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. It is coming 44.44 gram. Am I clear? So unless and until you will solve the answer numericals on your own, you will not be able to do it. So please solve it on your own in your notebook. Now with this, I'm ending this lecture here. The next lecture will be on percentage composition, empirical and molecular formula. How to find out the percentage composition, empirical and molecular formula. That this lecture will be totally based on numericals.